Thank you, Nambu. We actually are receiving out here a number of dignitaries, high-profile personalities outside Madiba's house in Houghton. And a number of flowers have been put here, as well as cards with well wishes. But now we're joined by Mr. Anand Singh, the director, of course, of the movie The Long Walk to Freedom. And he tells us that he just flew in from London. But if you were to tell me first, how did you receive the news? Where were you?
Well, we were in London for the royal premiere of Mandela Long Walk to Freedom on Thursday night. And at about 15 minutes before the movie ended, I received a note that to call Zinzi Mandela, who was in London with us. And I learned from her, and we decided that we were going to let the movie play. The royals were there, and it was only 15 minutes left. And at the end of the movie, Idris Elba, who plays Madiba, and I went on stage, and I made an announcement of the sad news. It was very emotional because at to celebrate the film and almost began giving us a standing ovation, and I had to quieten them down and make the announcement, which was very hard, and lots of people actually broke down. We asked for a minute of silence, and people just stayed in their positions. They couldn't even move. It was very emotional, and
and
even the royals, even the royals, they, for the first time ever, William came out and made a comment to the media about this sad news and how much they loved and respected Madiba. And normally royal protocol is you have to go through a certain process, and so they were very moved. And you look, Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, also, she was a wreck. I mean, you could see she'd been crying all through it, and so it was very sad.
A measure of the man himself whose life we're celebrating, and of course, the mourning his passing. You were with his family, though, as well, Zinzi in particular. How did she take it?
Both Zinzi and Zenani were there, and it was great that the two sisters were together. Zenani is ambassador to Argentina, but at this time, to have the two of them, having grown up together, be together, they gave each other support, and we lent as much as we could. But it was really something that, that the friendship and the camaraderie of everybody, having people like Idris Elba, and the people that worked on the film that were there, Tony Koroke. It was good to have a South African presence with the British, and I think it just helped bond.
But you were telling me also that you've had to stop the showing of the movie The Long Walk to Freedom. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, no, we didn't. In South Africa, yesterday, as a sign of respect to Madiba's passing, all the cinemas yesterday were dark. We decided not to screen the movie, and I think certainly I hope that audiences appreciate that it was a sign of what Madiba has given to us, given his whole life to us, and I thought it would be an appropriate thing to do that all cinemas not play the film yesterday.
Mr. Singh, you're one of the very fortunate South Africans who've met Madiba maybe a number of times. What is the one thing, or even a couple of things, that you remember about this legend?
Madiba is a very special person, and as we all know, and I first met him a few weeks after he came out of prison. I was writing to him while he was in prison to make a movie of his life. And over the years, I've spent time with him all over the world, places like the White House, when he visited the Queen. But what is remarkable is that he has this amazing ability to show people, whoever they are, kings or queens or a waiter, the same respect, the dignity, and make everybody feel special. And I think you look around the world today, you have leaders, they take their leadership quite seriously, and it's about them rather than the people that they serve. And I think that's the one remarkable thing. But Madiba always cares for others. You've seen his formation of the Children's Fund, the less fortunate children. You've seen his HIV/AIDS initiatives through 46664, and it's so amazing that he's only been out of prison for 23 years, and he's done all of this, during his term, and it's so important. And I think we as individuals should learn, and as he's always said, I am like everybody else. I have weaknesses and strengths, but he is so special. So we should learn from his inspiration.
We know there's a line of other media who want to talk to you, so thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Anand Singh joining us outside Mr. Nelson Mandela's house. We take it now back to the studio.